We're going to turn now to our next guest, who is teaching people how to take control and shift their life in order to find their true identity.
As a former NFL athlete, as a past contestant on NBC's show American Ninja Warrior.
International speaker, host of the Awe Shift podcast, and the founder of Identity Shift Coaching.
He has this glow and this joyous just smile about him. He loves life, but the guy had to friggin' earn it, as you will hear. He's been through so much and so many challenges in his life. He's been in that place where, as many of us know and have been, where we're like seeking and trying to figure out, like, what's our identity?
Identity for me was a very big question. Who am I? We've all asked the question. The answers are one that is, it's convoluted, it's hard to find the true answer to, but I was like, who's Anthony? I want to have a moment someday where I'm looking at my life going, this is how I feel. Like this. Because that's what you want. You want the moment where you wake up and people look at you and go, how did you do that? Right? That moment is waiting for you. But you got to lean in, you got to shift to go get it. I can't give it to you. Because here's the one thing we don't focus on, don't realize, is that you are the common denominator in all of your problems. My mom called social services and said, I no longer want my kids, take them. Now this is the moment I was given into foster care. At 6 years old, I ended up in a family which is now my current family. My adoptive mom, she said, hey, you know what? We love you, we're gonna adopt you. So I got to this point where I got to go do this cool thing, which was hitting people and not getting in trouble. I sucked. I literally was not very good at the game of football. I played in the NFL later, but I started horrible. When I was 14, when I actually got adopted, my mom was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And then my dad and I, we locked eyes and we realized this is that moment. And we look at my mom and she inhales. And exhales her final breath. See, she had promised me she'd love me and be here and be part of my life in a way that didn't make logical sense. And she did that. On the flip side, I made two promises. Promise one was, Mom, I'm gonna figure this thing out. Statistically, I shouldn't be here. I'm gonna make it right, I'm gonna make this life right somehow. Somehow I'm gonna do it. And two, when I do it, I'm gonna do what you did for me. You loved me unconditionally, didn't make sense, and you made me reach a higher potential than should have been part of my life. So promise two was, Mom, when I figure it out, I'm gonna teach it to the world the best way I can.
Make shift happen. Making the necessary shifts to accomplish something so great, you're overwhelmed with positive emotion.
Anthony Trucks, what can I say? First off, he is one of the most amazing speakers I've ever seen on stage. His stage presence is insane. His ability not only to get people to laugh and get them to cry, but most importantly, to transform. Grateful for Anthony. He's amazing. If you have a chance to have him speak at your events, do it. He will transform your audience. He'll change their lives.
His background is so inspiring and empowering. His messages and his frameworks and the way that he teaches is so captivating and so motivating that he's become one of the most popular speakers I've ever had on my stages or around a platform. He's absolutely astounding and an incredible speaker and a truly remarkable and good human. Anthony Trucks, I couldn't recommend him any higher.
Life is a collection of experiences, and I believe the meaning of life is to have more good ones than bad ones, to build ourselves and those around us into the absolute best versions of ourselves possible. Because the last person you should ever have to meet on your deathbed is the person you could have been. That's why it's imperative that you stop waiting for the perfect time and make this the perfect time by deciding
It is time for you to go out and make shift happen.